Matthew Kidman is a high school senior. In the school's yearbook, many students share crazy memories from their high school days as they eagerly await college acceptance and the last prom. On the other hand, Matthew is the school president, hence he is a good boy who wonders what he'll remember in high school. He's been accepted into Georgetown, and while this excites him, he is worried about how to finance college, so he hopes to get a scholarship. His most outstanding achievement is raising $25,000 to bring a genius Cambodian student Sam Nang to study in the US. Matthew imagines going to the beach with the popular kids, but chickens out when he imagines the school cop getting into a torrid accident. One day, he sees a sports car parked on his neighbor's driveway. Later that night, he is taking out the garbage when he sees a beautiful woman carrying stuff from the car to the house. Matthew is so attracted to the woman that he calls his best friend Eli to report this. While he is on the call, he sees the girl undress. Unfortunately, the girl sees him spying and storms to his house. The girl introduces herself as Danielle to Matthew's parents. The parents ask Matthew to show Danielle around town. Danielle tricks Matthew into stripping and leaving him to run naked on the street. Fortunately, she comes back and picks him up. They go to a diner where Danielle draws a painting of herself and gifts it to Matthew after he says he doesn't have a girlfriend. Matthew asks Danielle about her job, but Danielle explains that she quit and moved, hoping to start afresh. Danielle taunts Matthew, asking him what the craziest thing he has ever done in his life is. When Matthew lacks an answer, Danielle coerces him into sneaking into someone's pool. Later, the homeowner comes back, and he is Matthew's principal. Luckily, Matthew and Danielle escape before they can get caught. Matthew is delighted the following day at school when he sees Danielle by the parking lot, asking him to ditch school. Matthew quickly leaves school, much to his other best friend Klitz's dismay. Over the next few days, Matthew and Danielle get close as they hang out more often. The couple attends a party hosted by one of the popular kids. However, one guy fancies Danielle, so he has his friends ask Matthew to leave, claiming the party is full. Matthew overcomes his shyness and instead of leaving, walks toward Danielle and kisses her, sealing the deal in their relationship. Matthew's happiness is short-lived after Eli shows him a video recording portraying Danielle as a porn star. He goes home and finds Danielle looking at his childhood pictures with his parents. However, his imagination runs wild as he imagines his parents doing the deed with Danielle. He is bothered by this, but his friend urges him to take advantage of Danielle's situation and get laid. He takes the advice and dresses coolly, taking Danielle to a motel room that night. Danielle seduces him but quickly reveals that she knows Matthew learned about her past life. She breaks the relationship, disappointed as she thought Matthew was different from all the other guys. Matthew tries to apologize, but Danielle walks away. Some time passes and Matthew is miserable, so he apologizes again. He knocks on Danielle's door and when she answers, he apologizes, expressing his love for her. He advises Danielle to stay firm in her decision to quit, but she feels that the porn industry is her life and cannot escape it. However, it turns out that Danielle has a male guest. Matthew waits outside for the male guest who introduces himself as Kelly, Danielle's producer. He went out with Danielle a while back as well. Kelly thinks it's nice for Matthew to express his feelings and invites him to hang with them later at a strip club. Matthew is a little uncomfortable, especially when he runs into his father's best friend, but as he wants to show himself up to Kelly and impress Danielle, he goes with it. He gets a cigar from Kelly and the two bond a little. In school, Matthew and the rest of the senior class go through a boring sexual education video. After, Matthew finds Kelly in the parking lot flirting with some girls. The two head to the bank, where Matthew finishes transferring Sam Nang's money and introduces Kelly to the bank's teller as his student advisor. Matthew is impressed when Kelly flirts with the teller despite having just met her. A few days later, Matthew finds Danielle and Kelly packing to leave town. Kelly explains that they're headed to the Adult Convention Center in Las Vegas. Matthew tries to speak to Danielle, but she ignores him and leaves with Kelly. Later, Matthew's friends advise him to move on, but instead, Matthew convinces them to drive to Las Vegas. When they get to the convention center, Matthew goes off to find Danielle and advises his friends to bolt at any sign of danger. Matthew spots Danielle on stage and approaches her, confessing his love and asking her to remember her desire to start over. Kelly sees this and drags Matthew into a storage room. He physically assaults him and warns him to stay out of his business. However, Matthew ignores the warning and convinces Danielle to back out. Matt is preparing his speech for the scholarship dinner when Danielle enters the room to drive him to school. She has decided to leave the adult film industry and hopefully attend college. Matthew asks her to prom and she agrees. In class, Kelly storms in and drags Matthew outside. He explains that Danielle had failed to appear at a shoot that morning and lost him 30 grand. He repeatedly punches Matthew on the head and gives him a pill to relieve his pain. Kelly asks Matthew if the juice is worth the squeeze, referring to Matthew's love for Danielle. When Matthew's answer is affirmative, Kelly demands oral pleasure. It turns out that he's joking, but he wants his money back. He will forgive the debt if Matthew helps him steal the Best Producers Award received by his nemesis, Hugo Posh. The two sneak into Hugo's house, but Kelly exits discreetly and calls the police to report a robbery. Matthew gets the award, but Hugo wakes up and releases his pet parrot on Matthew. Luckily, Matthew escapes minutes before the police arrive. He calls his friends for help since he's already late for dinner. Danielle meets them with Matthew's clothes, but soon realizes that the latter is high on ecstasy, as Kelly had tricked him earlier with the pain reliever pill. Matthew gets to his dinner and tries to play it cool, but his awkward behavior is visible and off-putting to everyone. Luckily, he delivers a good and sentimental speech that makes up for his embarrassing behavior. Unfortunately, he is not awarded the scholarship. The following day, Matthew goes to the bank to cash in Sam Nang's money for his impending arrival. Unfortunately, the teller reveals that she had given the money to Kelly, under the impression that he was Matthew's teacher from their earlier visit. Matthew is relatively worried, and the teller threatens to report him for fraud unless he returns the money by Monday. Desperate, Matthew seeks out Danielle's help. She calls Hugo, who had given her his number in case she wanted to be a bigger star in the adult film industry. Matthew and Danielle visit Hugo with an idea, and Hugo agrees to share 50-50 proceeds should Matthew pull it off. The plan is to shoot a pornographic reality film in the school during prom night. The idea was motivated by something Kelly had said earlier. Soon, Danielle picks up two of her former colleagues to help with the plan. Prom night arrives and Danielle, Matthew, Eli, Klitz, and the two porn stars make an appearance. Three of the popular kids realize that the two women are pornographers and want in on the action. Matthew has them sign some papers consenting to appearing in the videos. Eli and Klitz get busy with the video while Matthew and Danielle have a lovely prom night. After a while, Matthew is informed that the group lacks a star for the last shoot. Matthew volunteers to do it, but the group is caught. Luckily, this is just an imagination, but Matthew decides to forfeit. He walks out and meets Danielle, realizing he loves her more than he thought. Meanwhile, Klitz chooses to step in and act on the scene. After, the group celebrates the successful shoot, and Matthew and Danielle make love for the first time. Matthew gets a frantic call from Eli the next day as the video is missing. Matthew enters his house to find Kelly, the principal, and his parents. Kelly pulls Matthew aside, wanting Matthew's profits as the video idea was his, or he will show the video to those present. However, Matthew refuses, daring Kelly to play the video as he is tired of hiding who he is. He shares that his new business partner is Hugo, infuriating Kelly. Kelly was Hugo's best friend, and he shared the idea to make reality pornography. Unfortunately, Hugo took the idea as his and created a porn line that earned him millions. Kelly plays the video, but instead of being a pornographic film, it is a modern sexual education tape. While Matthew's parents think the video is a great idea, Kelly is rudely surprised. The principal is a bit reserved, but since the current sex education videos aren't helping, he decides to try the video. Matthew graduates from high school as a millionaire since the video sells successfully. Hugo takes the publicity as Matthew decides to be a silent partner. Eli becomes a celebrity filmmaker, while Klitz is happy to realize that his college buddies find his role in the film the best due to how hung he is. Matthew receives Sam Nang at the airport and welcomes him to America. He attends Georgetown, bringing Danielle with him. Before leaving, he sends Kelly a box of cigars, confirming that the juice was indeed worth the squeeze. Do leave a comment telling us your favorite part of the movie. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next recap. Until next time, folks, take care and goodbye.